What's up, guys and gals? It's time for the latest piece of One Piece. Chapter 1113, entitled Stalemate. Now, right out of the gate, I'm just going to say, and I say it every time, I think this is going to be a shorter review. Now, honestly, we'll check the runtime by the time I'm done, but I really do think so. Because realistically, is the chapter bad? No. Is the chapter great? No. The chapter is another one of those, we're waiting for the other shoe to drop sort of deal. And even if you want to argue that shoe has dropped, it was the very last page with a couple of words. So, as far as I'm concerned anyways, this chapter, I mean, stuff happened in the chapter and it was cool, but like, how long am I supposed to talk about it? Like, for example, it's like, okay, so we're still jumping through with the message and everything, and we jump to a bunch of different people reacting to it, and it's like, oh, yeah, the island that Chopper was on and Frankie was on, like, during the time skip and stuff, like, I remember reading that, like, literally over 10 years ago at this point, you know, and I'm like, I remember when that chapter came out, I remember this, okay, they're reacting. Okay, that's nice. Moving on. Oh, there's Kaya in Syrup Village. Usopp's love interest. Cool. Moving on. Like, what am I supposed to say about it? Like, as a reader, when I'm reading the chapter, I'm like, oh, cool, we get to see them again. That's nice, you know? But I don't have a whole lot to review or theorize or talk about. Like, and then the woman, the myth, the legend herself, Kaya, shows up for one panel, and let's talk about it for 17 and a half minutes. Yeah, I don't think that's more up Tekken's alley. I'm sure Tekken can make that work. I could probably make it work, but it wouldn't be as genuine as he can pull it off. But yeah, so as far as this chapter is concerned, I mean, I love the double color spread with Robin being like a chess master and playing like all the different chess pieces. You know, Brook is as a bishop, Zoro as a knight, obviously, Luffy as a king and stuff. Like, it all makes sense. It's all really, really cool, in my opinion. So it's a really cool, ingenious cover spread, I will say. I didn't expect this one, but it works. It works so well. That being said, I was like, yeah, so when we went into this chapter, and especially the end part, which I'm going to pull a bit of a reference to DBZA at the very end here, but yeah, to suffice it to say, and definitely go check out DBZA if you have not, because that shit still holds up. It's still really good. Suffice it to say, yeah, so Punk Records, guess what? It's the Giant Brain. A lot of people thought it would be the Giant Brain. It's the Giant Brain. So it's basically Punk Records is run off of Vegapunk's head. The party cut off, yada yada yada. It is what it is. And Mars tries to destroy the Gorosaurus there. I believe that's Mars. I get them confused all the time. Other than saying Saturn, I still mix them up, and I just call Samurai Gandhi, so, you know. But Mars basically tries to destroy the SSG transponder stand, whatever it is, and no, guess what? That's not going to do it either. Anyways, he gets pissed. Like, we see all the shots of everyone, like, still waiting for the message, yada, 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 and then, boom, we get... As I said, he's like trying to destroy it. He's pissed off. He flies into Punk Records. He's like, I'm gonna do it. I've got to destroy this damn thing. So Vegapunk goes on a bit of a, and see, here's a bit of an issue in my opinion. Once again, yeah, I don't want this review to be super, super long anyway, so I'm not going to delve too much into it because I am more of a Vegapunk hater than a Vegapunk lover, as far as that's concerned. I'm certainly not a stan of Vegapunk as he's been presented. But the fact that he has the nerve or the balls to go on this whole, like, by the way, this message happens because my heart stopped beating, so I'm effectively dead. Now, the ones who killed me, I'm not gonna, like, don't necessarily think of them as bad or evil. And my first thought was, oh yeah, because I'm sure they're gonna paint, the world government is gonna paint that Luffy and the Straw Hat crew, or Bonnie or somebody like that, killed Vegapunk. So Vegapunk's basically trying to say, no matter what the world nobles tell you, those people aren't that bad. think for yourselves. And I was like, okay, not bad. Not a bad message. Then I made the mistake of watching other people react and review, and everyone else is under the impression that he's talking as though he's assuming that the world government killed him. And he's telling people, like, if it comes out that the Gorosei are a bunch of Hitler-esque monsters, don't hate on them. They're not actually evil. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. You know, so I'm hoping that my initial reaction was right, and that Vegapunk is, once again, the smartest guy, and is foreseeing that his death and the destruction of Egghead will be blamed on a scapegoat. And that scapegoat is more than likely to be a noble person like Kuma or Luffy or someone like that. So he's basically saying he's not outing them, which, once again, out the damn world government already, Vegapunk. You have the ammo. Use it. But you're literally dead. You might as well use the ammo you got left in the chamber. But fact of the matter is that I'm hoping that I'm right and not everybody else is right, because if everybody else is right, that takes my opinion of Vegapunk, which was already... You guys can't see my hand, right? Yeah, it's further down through the floor already, if that's the case, because I don't even want to consider that level of, you know... There's that whole lovely sentiment in the world that it's like, listen, if we could just all get together with different perspectives and stuff, but actually sit down and have an honest understanding and stuff like that, it's like, yeah, no. There are some people who are just, whoa, 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 whoa. And that's never going to happen. There's never going to be a table where you're going to sit across from someone and not go, the world would be a better place if you fucking didn't exist and you had no position of power whatsoever. I mean... That's just a fact. There are some people who are flat out wrong. It doesn't matter where you come from, what culture, or how you were raised. Some people have terrible ideas on how to run a nation, a world. So, I mean, yeah, I'm just like, yeah, no. So, I'm hoping that my initial thought is correct, which is actually positive Vegapunk. Everyone else seemed to think he was talking as though he knew that the Gorosei killed him. And granted, I only watched one review and 2 other reaction videos of popular YouTubers, but they all seem to have that consensus, and that was like, oh, now I'm seeing this worse than when I was. Anyway, so as I said, the rest of the chapter goes on. We know that the Gorosei are telepathic and blah, 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 blah. There is 2 pretty cool moments, fighting-wise. One is that Sanji gets to Samurai Gandhi unawares and manages on a huge strike against hybrid form Samurai Gandhi and his awakened devil horse, skeleton horse version. And he does get actually a shot, upper chin, drawn blood, go Sanji. Immediately, it doesn't seem to matter because he immediately just transforms into his full form and chomps down Sanji for lunch. But he did get a solid hit in on one of the Gorosei. Good on our cook Sanji. Then we also, afterwards, and the Giants try to help out and stuff like that too. And Bonnie turns into full-on giant future and is like, I'm gonna stomp on this. It's like, all right, we got some stuff going on here. The better part, the cooler part, in my opinion, is though there are a couple reactions I should mention. Judge and Caesar are in, obviously, Judge's castle fort there, the Germa castle and stuff. And it's like, what, Vegapunk's dead? Like, we just teamed up again to get smarter than you and take you down. You're already dead? Are you kidding me right now? So, Caesar never catches a break. Not that he deserves one. Fair enough. And Morgan's just like, video killed the radio star. Video killed the radio star. In my newspaper, and now I'm irrelevant. So that's exactly what Morgan's is thinking right now. As I said, after this is when, actually, I sort of skipped ahead, but that's when Vegapunk basically talks all about the ones who kill me. They may or may not be evil. I'm not here to be a moral compass. It's like, you're speaking to the whole world, you better have some fucking answers, Vegapunk. But granted, he is a scientist, it's not his job to judge, but seriously, that was unnecessary. If he's talking about the Gorosei, I find it an unnecessary thing to say, because that's just going to, once again, red versus blue, it's just going to widen the gap further rather than try to make them see gray, so if that is the case. Unless, once again, my initial thought was right, and it's about, someone, Bonnie will be blamed for it, Luffy will be blamed for it, the Yonko, pirates in general, the revolutionaries, somebody else, not the girls there, are going to be blamed for Vegapunk's death. So yeah, either way, Saint Saturn decides to attack, the what do they call them? The weak trio, the loser trio, whatever. And they actually step up because Robin, who is still injured, by the way, which once again, off-screen injured, like really one of the top commanders of the Straw Hat crew gets off-screen badly hurt, and we don't see exactly why. I don't remember how she got so bloody injured. When did that happen? Who did she fight? I just don't recall it. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I think I saw a few other people mention, was that off-screen? Because we were like, yeah, we came back and there were so many other things to look at and talk about. No one referenced the fact that they were patching up their wounded, and Robin was in really bad shape. I don't remember seeing anything, so it's like, that's kind of like, is this all for this moment so that they could have this moment? If so, it's kind of doing it a little bit of a disservice, a little dirty, but still, I don't mind the moment. The moment's awesome because Robin immediately recognizes Saint Saturn's voice, recognizes it as the one who was talking to, of course, Clover and stuff like that, and it's like, yes, no, it's like, he's one of the 5 elders, and she's starting to have a bit of a panic attack, and he's like, so you are Nico Robin? And they're like, no, and immediately Nami's like, protect Robin, we don't give a shit. Usopp immediately, boom, Brave Warrior of the Sea, looking sharp. They're giants here, man. You gotta step up. You can't be the Usopp of East Blue. He steps up. He's attacking one of the 5 elders. Go Usopp. Chopper's like, yeah, fuck it. Let's go. Form and Brook's there. They're like, Nami's there. Usopp's there. Chopper's there. And of course, Brook's not a part of the weak trio, but he's up there and he's just like, shing. He's like, we will keep you safe. No one's taking you away. No one's hurting you, while we're around and stuff. And it's like, yeah. So that, in all honesty, that was my favorite moment of the chapter, is that the ones who generally end up trying to weasel their way out of a fight, who would rather run and be like, listen, this is beyond our pay grade. We might be Yonko crew. We might be Straw Hat crew. But we aren't, I'm like, Nami admits, I'm not Luffy. I'm not Jinbei. I'm not Sanji. I'm not Zoro. I'm not a commander. I can hold my own in a half-decent fight, but I'm not here to be fighting Yonko and Yonko commanders and admirals. That is not me. That's not my job. And Usopp is sort of the same opinion and stuff, but when push comes to shove, they will step up. Let's go. I like it. So it was a great moment there. York is trying to think of, I'm a Vegapunk too. What? How can we stop the message? Anyways, the final part of the chapter is, once again, our world is going to sink into the ocean, right? So the message is going down, and in all honesty, as I said, DBZA reference. What the? Global warming? No! Right? Pretty much. So the weird thing that I find about this chapter is that here, and you guys can tell now, I'm just trying to stretch the runtime so it's a regular review size. The weird thing I do find about the chapter is that, as I said, the chapter wasn't good or bad. It was just a chapter. Nothing crazy for me happened. And then the fact that the message, and I don't think Oda should have let us sit with this. Not that the man doesn't deserve a break, 100%. If he wants to take more breaks, he's entitled. But leaving us, the community as a whole, sitting with the information of Vegapunk's got a message to the world, all this stuff. Will it be about devil fruits, the void century, the true meaning of Christmas? All the information, now how hyped up Vegapunk has been. And my main problem with the Egghead as an arc and all this stuff, and Vegapunk as a character, is that he was the man that when we reach him, he was going to have the answers. You might as well have spoken to the ghost of Roger with Luffy not in the room. Or when Rayleigh was there at the bar in the archipelago and Luffy wasn't in the room, and say, look, I want to know. Rayleigh was going to tell Robin, here's what we found. He would have told them. No problem, but Luffy did what Luffy does, which is fine as a character moment, but meeting Vegapunk was supposed to give us these answers. Not the answer to what the One Piece is, but it's supposed to give us all the answers to everything else, and we've gotten basically jack shit. And now, on top of that, on top of all the theories, of Will it be Void Century stuff? Will it be, as I said, the true meaning of Christmas? Will it be about Devil Fruit knowledge, where they came from? What's the secret of Laugh Tale? What happened? The world government corruption? What the Revolutionary Army's goal is? Whatever. Something. Shirahoshi, Fishman Island. Anything. Joy Boy's, reason for everything. No, we're going to talk about climate change. Yeah. And I just feel like it's one of those... I feel like I should have a Captain America gif in here and be like... So, you've read 1,113 chapters of One Piece. And now you realize it was all about climate change. Yeah, so... As I said, I don't think Oda should have let us sit with this. I think it was management time for a break because out of everything, there's something to be said for shock value, and I'm sure it's relevant. Like, of course, we care about the future of the One Piece world, and it's nice to know that, like, okay, well, our Earth is about, like, 69% water or something like that, and the One Piece world is obviously closer to, like, 85-90% water, right? Okay, so the fact that it's maybe the future of our Earth in a few more thousand years, I don't know, I'm not a, whatever that would be to study the ocean. I guess an oceanographer. I'm not an oceanographer or a landmass expert or whatever. Tectonic plates and all that. I'm not a geologist, so I don't know how that's going to work. But what I do know is that there's the potential that could grow. So the fact that the One Piece world, we're sinking into the ocean even further. What Water 7 has experienced, the whole world might eventually experience of the One Piece world. We don't know how many decades or centuries Vegapunk is going to tell us it's going to happen, but he's saying inevitably it will happen. And it's like, okay, fine, but is that really what One Piece fans want to know? I'm sure, like, once again, it's relevant to the story and the characters and the world. But as readers, we care more about the lore of the past than we do about what's going to happen 2 centuries from now when all these characters are dead. Like, in my opinion. So, granted, Vegapunk might say 5 years. You guys all got 5 years, then you're all dead. Maybe. But yeah, that was my problem, is that I think Oda did make a bit of a mistake to let us sit with this information and to drag out this, what is the message? What is Vegapunk's message? And it's not anything that we want to know. Once again, the point of Egghead, and my biggest problem is we haven't gotten a damn nugget of information. We have one tiny little theory that zone fruits and devil fruits are basically fairy dust. People wish for them. If you wish upon a star, we're literally Pinocchioing our way into devil fruits. That's all we've gotten as far as any new information into any lore we care about. And Vegapunk was kind of supposed to be a little bit more than that. He was supposed to be the treasure trove of lore and knowledge. Zoe had more in one chapter. The Arc of Zoe had more information in one chapter, in half a chapter of lore dumping, than the entirety of Egghead. So, yeah. So, I think that's a bit of an issue right here, because I have seen people already making fun of they've already made the global warming jokes, they've already made the polar ice caps melting. I've already seen some memes are already popping up about the end of this chapter. It's like, were you waiting for it? So I had to poke my fun at it, but either way, yeah, no, I think I stretched that out to a good 20 minutes. At least I hope I did. Something close to it anyways. But yeah, so those are my complaints, those are my thoughts, my feelings on the chapter. Once again, it's not a bad chapter. I just think that Oda sort of made a mistake to take a break when he did, or to stretch out the message as far as he did, If it was going to be not relevant to anything that we, the fans, have questions for, he's once again introduced another thing that we didn't even know was a thing. Meanwhile, we have 100 burning questions. Now Oda's just added to the pile, not answered any, when we sort of hoped that Vegapunk would have a few more answers. That's all. At least me as a fan, who's been a fan for 15 odd years now, at least a dozen years. I must have been reading. Yeah, I've been reading One Piece a long time. So, Anyways, that being said, I hope you guys still enjoyed the chapter. As I said, it's still a good chapter. It's just not a great chapter, and I do have some flaws with it. At least personally, I see. So, once again, nobody's perfect, but anyways, that's it for me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you all guys back here next time for the next piece of One Piece. Looking forward to the next chapter when maybe we can get away from the message and see something else, or maybe we get some other nuggets of information within the message. This was just the start of the true message. So, fair enough, fair enough. We'll have the table, the that kind of stuff or the discussion about that until next time. So, with that being said, sayonara, everybody.